This is a Cuppa with K. The morning. Bit sugary. I think I put too much sugar in. That also really sugary. Ugh. Got it on the side of my fan, but as you can see, I have my solar panel out there today. So it's hooked up. That gas might go out in a little bit because it's going down. Everything I'm using of late is just disappearing. It's a bit annoying, you know. When I'm kind of like trying to, I've got to try and be a bit more positive. At least I'll be neutral rather than positive. Actually, that's not a bad way to go, because both negative and positive use up a lot of energy. So if you're neutral about something, that means then that you're allowing other interesting things to come into your life. Right now I need those interesting things to come into my life. So I had, for that solar panel, I had 1 day's usage and it used up 50% of that thing. 47% left I've got now. So it's just over 50. And look, the fan's kicking in and all it's doing is getting power from the solar panel. I didn't think that would do that. It's so loud. Sorry, trying to be neutral. It's difficult. Yep, the gas is running out. With these gas canisters, I've got a full one here, okay, and each one lasts about 3 hours if you're using it on full power. Okay, so the thing is, when it gets to the end, it's like this. And it's hardly any gas. That's on full power. And you can see how much flame there is coming out of that. Can you see? Hardly any. Not that long there. Hardly any flames coming out, and yet it's on full power at the moment. When the gas canisters are almost finished, I'll show you in a minute. You get that much gas out of there, and then you wonder whether to chuck it away or not, because there must be a big mountain somewhere of these gas canisters that have just got a tiny little bit of gas in there, liquid gas in there. Can't you like empty that out and use it again? Isn't there a way of doing that? It's gone quiet again. My kettle's just struggling to boil. Let's make a cup of tea. Right. It might actually be the milk, because I changed the milk the other day. I seem to be struggling getting these little pots of milk about, and I've got this one again, a big one. I don't like these big ones because I waste it. I only get through about that much and the rest of it's gone off. I'm going to boil. Think it's ready? Let's have a go. There, that's no. Listen, that was struggling, and yet there's still some gas in there. So I don't know whether to chuck that out because I can't get any more out of it, or carry on using it until it's all gone. Right, now because this handle is hot, I found another way. It should be a rubber handle, not a plastic one. Never ever leave the gas canister in one of those things. That's the mistake I made the other day. Well, a couple of weeks ago I think. I left it in there and I could smell gas. I was thinking, where's that coming from? Idiotic me. That was when I was in the little van. Next time I turned it on, bang. It flew up. And thankfully I had the door open. Don't know if it works because is the other one. Oh, it's kicking in again. That's not good, is it? No, it's just putting power in, not taking it out. Tiny little wee bit of smallest amount of milk. Overkill on the tiny, small, little wee. Why does God say wee? And I hate the word wee because I prefer the word pee. Pee sounds better than wee. Wee sounds, I don't know, sounds horrible. I don't know why I don't like it. It's better, not perfect. I've been watching loads and loads of videos of late where the world has just gone crazy. It's absolute morons in the world.
It's fine. The fish in the pond are dying because it's too hot for them and they can't breathe. I don't know what I'm going to do because he's at home with you.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang. Ice cream so good. Gang, gang. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ooh, hot. Ooh, hot. That burns.
Just something.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. What the?
So it was kind of like barricaded, and I couldn't get in, and there was a guy working there, and I said, I just want to get in here and just grab a drink and food, and I just want to be on my way. He said, oh, you can't get in here unless you scan your palm. You have to have an Amazon one and scan your palm to be able to get in. And I said, well, I'm not doing that, and I do not have an Amazon one account or whatever.
Oh my goodness me. The world's gone mad. Maybe it was always mad. It's just that everyone's getting on tape now. But you know, if we are going to win this so-called battle, we're going to have to get the police and the army on our side. And they are young lads. They are your sons. I know what's going to happen. At the moment, they're recruiting a load of bullies in the police, and all the good men are leaving. So if you good men, you retired police officers, and you people who have left because you're disillusioned with the police force or you've been bullied yourself, get together and create a police force for the citizens, and we'll pay you. You don't have to go, don't have to go around like the mafia demanding blood money. You look after your community, they will pay you in kind, with generous gifts, and once this money system goes down, there won't be any money to give to anybody. That's the control mechanism over the people. And the armed forces, I know what's going to happen to you. I'm really, really sad to say this. Please, young lads, do not join the army. Don't. I used to encourage people to stay in the army. But now, not now. It's an awful world. What's going to happen is that you young lads are going to be sent off abroad, probably just to end your lives in the trenches of Ukraine and Russia, or Poland, or whichever other country has been dragged into it now, which is how the First World War started. One thing started, some kind of king got bloody assassinated, and then for some reason all the royals of all the different countries in Europe started saying, I'm going to chuck my men at you. That's all it was about, chucking men at each other, and whoever had the most left won. And that's what's going to happen now. They're just going to chuck your life into the trench, and you're just going to disappear. I mean, I watched it the other day where it was a video of some holidaymakers in the sea in the Crimea, and they were watching helicopters come down and drop the dead bodies off of Russian soldiers.
A shocking video shows how the dead and wounded from Vladimir Putin's war dead are moved by helicopter to annexed Crimea as tourists swim in the sea. Isn't that awful? Those poor lads had to go to war. They were forced to go. Forced to point a gun at somebody else, otherwise they'd be shot themselves. And then they end up, their bodies, in a helicopter like this, just either dumped or taken off to I don't know where. It's just body count, isn't it? Again, war, the futility of it. I mean, who's profiting from this? And how many bodies are in there? And what are they going to do with them? Are they taking out their organs? Are they selling them on? What? Are using their blood? I just don't know. This world is so horrible. At the moment we've got so... Oh goodness. This is Sodom and Gomorrah.
And apparently now, I don't know how true it is, it might be another propaganda thing again. They've pushed the recruitment age up to 70. So now how is that possible? They have got, or supposedly got, the most people to call upon in our world. So why are they having to resort to 70-year-olds? It's a depopulation agenda. And as soon as you sign on that dotted line to go and fight for your country or save the other country, you're just going to be dust, pulverised, just a load of gooey meat in a bloody trench somewhere. I'm not saying bloody is a swear word. I don't know how these politicians can go around saying, it's just barbaric to me in this day and age. It is. These young men, their lives, when I saw that helicopter and those holidaymakers on the beach, it just seemed so contrasty. You know, how can one group of people be so fortunate as to not be part of that, be in a country that's not been, pulled into that, and they can just go and visit it and delight in all the, go for a meal, go watch it, whatever, a play, go to a museum or whatever, a historic site, go and swim in the sea, and then another group of people been sent to the front line to be murdered, basically. And this is why these politicians think, how is it possible that they can just put men on, and women, of course. I haven't seen any women. No. You've seen all these men, they're soldiers, they're men, aren't they? All these soldiers that they've shown on the telly, they're men, aren't they? Now I've said that, you'll probably see loads of women coming out. But the thing is, okay, if this was a real war, why are they not allowing the Ukrainian soldiers put their own personal videos up on YouTube and stuff like that? That would be good propaganda for them. But no, they're not allowing you to show, they're not allowing you to see that, are they? No. You've got to ask why. I just sit here and I think of all my little worries and woes and stuff like that, and I think I've got nothing to worry about really, yet, because it's not here yet, and I know it will be soon. This country could just turn just like that. You could just be out for a day somewhere and you'll hear some bullets going off, and then that'll be the start of it. Because right now they're putting a lid on everything. All these boat people that are coming in, they have been convinced to come here for some reason. Why are there no women and children? If they're coming here for asylum, then why have they not brought their families with them? Why are they young military age men? Although they're recruiting older men now, so even 50 in the British Army. I remember, being in one of the bases before I left. Good man, 50 years old, and everybody was looking at him thinking, what is he? And then he told us to raise the recruitment age. Apparently, the sergeants were really happy with him because he was doing his best. He was doing the best. All the youngsters were going when they were doing their run, but him, nope, out there. He was doing it. He was putting them all to shame, and they were all shocked. So some of them were actually inspired, and then that incentivized them to get out there and do it. The thing is, if we'd gotten to a state where we're employing retired people in the army, armed forces I should say, then specifically in the army, then what kind of a state are we in? A despair. No, the only way we can stop this is civilians stood up and said, no, this isn't going to happen. All you politicians should be out of a job now. Somebody should go to the Parliament buildings and read out a statement and say, as a citizen of this country who employs you, I now no longer recognise you as my employee, and you have to resign now. Either that or you've been sacked. And then let the legal people deal with it, because what they've done is horrendous. They're just lying thieves, greedy people who just think of themselves, and they've just become part of politics in order to feather their own nest, if that's the way you want to say it. It's just preposterous that these leaders can't sit around a table when they're at Davos, say. Did you see that thing where Zelensky had put this PowerPoint display where these little text messages were part of this chat group, and they were having a little banter with the rest of the countries, and they were making a joke of Finland who couldn't bloody type, and when they finally did get in they said hi. And the IMF kept coming in and out as they were asking for money and saying that they were going to give it back. It was funny, but also they had to dig at England, not Scotland, Wales or Ireland. No, it was England, and the English flag was up there. And then they were saying about sanctions being put on us. Now they were all Russia was saying something like, we need to deal with them, and then what are your thoughts? And then I think it was the United States, Germany and France said that they put sanctions, but they didn't say who they put sanctions against. And then Russia came back with, so we're all in agreement. So they're all saying, we English people, not Parliament or MPs or government, are going to put sanctions on us. And it's a joke apparently to them, but you're talking about people's lives. And I know maybe I'm taking it a bit seriously, but whatever's said in jest. Have you ever heard that saying? Many a true word said in jest. Oh, it's gone again. That's 3 times in the past. I've only been doing this video 23 minutes. Less by the time I cut out all the crap. But it made me feel sick, just as that helicopter, the Russian soldiers and the people in the sea, the holidaymakers in the sea, that made me feel sick too. Because I think at these meetings that all these leaders are attending, it's like a massive conference room, and they're all laughing and clapping. They weren't saying, boo, get on with the bloody important tasks that we have to talk about. This is serious. People are dying, just as Trump keeps saying. People are dying in horrible ways. And these people on the ground are being convinced. They're being traumatised. They're being told one story, that this group of people is against you. They've done this, they've said that, and you're paying the price for it, so go and get them. And then they go out like fools and get involved in fights to the death. It's just like the bloody Roman gladiator games again. Except the gladiators knew what they were getting into. Well, we thought. Oh. Even that Roman Colosseum, they think that it was used for something else, not for that. A massive water pump for the city. A water collection point, like a dam type thing. Because I've got pictures of ships in it. Anyway, I'm going off topic. This is Satan's playground. I know it is. And it even said in the Bible, I'm not getting all religious on you, I'm just letting you know that it says in Genesis that Lucifer was thrown down to the earth. Down to the abyss. Isn't that the sea? The abyss. Anyway. It's just going to take a whole bunch of us to stand up and say, no, you're not sending my lad off to get slaughtered on the battlefield. And all you lads, open your eyes. Don't go after the money. There is going to be no money soon. You're going to have to start bartering. And please, look, before all this happened, it was a civilised situation, wasn't it? It was a good world. I know there were many people who were living a life of horror. You think of that Tim Ballard film, The Sound of Freedom. And that's all undercover. Who organises it? Who are the customers? It's not just Britain and America, because it's happening in other countries too. So you're just not going to go just for the customers who are the pedophiles. You've got to go for the people who are organising it. I have to go now to get on with the day. That tea was nice in the end. I think I'll make another one. I don't know if I use that other gas canister though to heat the kettle up. I might as well, might I use it up. My little bit of gas. I've got another one here, but you see, if you stick that on the rubbish, it's still got gas in there. It should be a little like a thing on here where you can just take it out and put it in, I think, and then stick it in there as well. Why can't you invent that? Yeah. Instead of chucking your life away on a battlefield that's for these rich men, every time you die they get a load of money on the stock market. Getting it out and invent something. Don't put a patent on it. Just put it out there for people to use. Because, you know, okay, put your name on it. Call it something that's your name. To say, you know, I did that. Doesn't matter. Put your ego aside. And this is a time where we need to really get on with things. Because if we don't, we're doomed. Wake up. Even the sheep, the real sheep, are fighting back now. Haven't you seen all these deer approaching people, getting friendly with them, and all these sheep turning against the sheepdogs? They're teaching us something, and they're apparently the orca whales are bashing into millionaires' yachts. Why? Why are the animals fighting back and we're not? And they haven't even got any guns. Oh, that was quick, wasn't it? Oh, I know why. See, I was going to chuck that out, but I've got another kettle out of it. So I'll say bye-bye for now. gonna have another cup of tea, and then I'm gonna get on with my day. Got loads to do. Loads.